Welcome back to another episode of We Just
Live Here.
This is an exciting one. I'm looking forward to it.
I have been looking forward to it for a while.
And I feel like we wanted to record this one for like the last month.
Yes.
And things just have keep coming up where like something's happening to where we just can't.
We've had to put off filming this episode for weeks.
I know. Things just kept happening, but we're
here
happy
now.
to be here. Yeah. So, do you want to tell them what it is?
Sure. So this episode is talking about, well, we all love where we live, right?
Of course.
Most of the time. We just live here. But sometimes, don't you wish you could just live somewhere else in a fantasy world?
Yes, all the time.
Jump into a book. Oh, that's what brought us together. So
Yes.
we love books. We love these worlds.
I know. I'm so excited.
So today we've been keeping a secret from each other.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Mostly.
We tried.
But I kind of am a terrible
I know hers, but
I
she
had
doesn't
to
know
tell
mine.
her because I was dying.
Well, I guessed.
Yeah, you did. I ended up like giving her clues
Clues.
and being like, you still don't know what it is?
I know.
I'm like, you recommended me the audio. And then
And I was like, oh, I know exactly which one we're talking about. So we both picked worlds, fantasy worlds, fiction, where we would want to live. And we have why and maybe which character we'd like to, like in reality, which character we would be.
Yeah. But our stipulation was that we weren't going to pick ACOTAR
No.
or like any Sarah Moss book.
Sorry, but
We love them, but we just felt like those are really obvious
Yeah.
picks. So,
everyone wants to live there.
yes,
Like
exactly.
Valeris, represent.
I know. I couldn't find mine.
Anyways, but everyone would want to live there. So we wanted to think outside of the box. So here we go.
Okay.
Alex, you're going to go first.
Okay. So, dun dun dun.
Drum roll.
I'm really excited about this. I actually brought it with me. Masters of Death. I think this would be my world.
By Olivia Blake.
Yes. Beautifully written world. But the reason that I picked it is because it has every supernatural being that you could possibly want. And being
Yes.
that I was such a Twilight girly, like there's vampires.
Shout out to Twilight.
The original.
Oh, I remember when I read that. I was in high school
Yeah.
and it was huge. Maybe it was high school or college, but it was huge.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was high school, so.
I think I was high school too.
But looking back now, launched me that.
Into that love of that
But then I feel
world.
like it took a long break, and then ACOTAR came, and now I'm back there.
Okay.
But with Masters of Death, it's just so, they humanize like every aspect of life itself, I think, because death is a person.
They do.
So death, even though that's just an idea to us, he's someone. And he's funny and kind of witty.
And he I can't say that. It will ruin it.
I know. Don't ruin it.
Don't ruin it. But we highly recommend this book.
Oh, it's probably one of my favorites.
It's a world where Alex wants to live.
I want to live there.
But I think you're right. It does humanize their differences.
Yes.
They're all different. There's demons. There's vampires. There's death.
Yes.
There's the godson of death.
Yes.
There's humans. Guardian angels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. A reaper?
A reaper.
Just supernatural beings.
The archangels are in it.
Yes. The archangels. Oh my gosh.
And they're funny. They're twins.
They're twins. They're funny. They've got great banter. They have flaws.
Mhm.
And that's the thing is they humanize every single one of them. But that's so real. That's so realistic. We're all so different.
Exactly. And she
yet
makes
they are
them.
cohesive.
For sure. She makes them realistic because they're not. I mean, we don't have, if we
No.
do have vampires.
Like
I mean,
if death is around,
just some come say hi.
can I
No.
be his friend? Yeah.
I don't think we want him to come around because in
well,
the book, if
I
he
want
comes
to be
around,
his friend, but like,
if you were,
if you're friends with him, then hopefully he'll save you, right?
Oh, for
he'll
sure.
avoid
he'll let you.
as long as you can.
Exactly. But she wrote love very well. The love in the
Yes.
book is so unique. There's not really necessarily a like physical aspect to any of it.
Which I love.
Yeah, I thought it was really well thought out, and you could
It
just
was
tell how much
sweet.
they love each
It
other.
was, it's like, It's pure love.
It's really tender.
It's very tender.
I loved it.
It's pure. This is a love story that you want to remember.
For sure.
That's how you want your love story to be, because
yes.
it's not all passion and the whirlwind.
Right.
It's slow.
And there's real
issues.
Yeah.
And there's issues that they have to figure out.
I know.
Big issues.
Big issues. But if I was a character from that book,
who would you be?
I would be Vi.
Oh, okay. For sure.
Because she is a main character, but she's very realistic.
Yes.
She is super normal aside from the fact that she's a vampire and it happened to her by accident.
Yes.
It's not like she was born that way or, she just...
It happened, but then she grabbed onto it and said, okay, this is my reality. Moving on.
Yeah.
She didn't dwell. It wasn't like, woe is me. In some of those books, they make it sound like it's this, oh, I'm like so sad. Yeah. Even in Twilight.
Yeah.
Becoming a vampire is a burden.
For sure.
But for her, she morphed into it and she made a life.
She did.
She blended. Now that we're talking about this, I love this because I do think people say you read fantasy fiction, that's not.
Yeah.
But look at all the real world principles and relations, or what is the word? Comparisons.
Yeah.
That we can relate to real life that we've already pulled out in a conversation of 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
That's what I love about fantasy fiction is it takes you out of this world, but really you can learn valuable lessons.
Yeah.
If you want to. I'm a detailed reader, though.
And I'm not.
So I delve into all this underline, and I'm telling Alex well, this and this, and if you think about this, and do you think that's cool? Because in this, if we bring it to our real lives, Alex says,
my eyes are glossed over.
Okay.
I'm like,
you like the conversation.
No, I love it. No.
You don't think like that.
I like how you interpret things, and it makes me try to think about it more because I do tend to just kind of gloss over.
Right. But I will say, Alex tells me about what she's reading at work, and I'm gripped. I'm like, what? What's next? What's going on? And then she's like, that's as far as I've gotten. And then she'll be able to read 3 chapters for some reason during a break. And she says, I have to tell you what I read. I'm right there for it.
It's all I can think about while it's happening. And then once it's over, I'm like, okay.
She's emotional though. So as she's telling me, it's so passionate. I'm in the world. I'm enthralled. But I'm an emotional reader, but also detailed. We'll talk more about that later. But
yeah.
So I love fantasy fiction and how we can bring it to real life. And I love having those conversations.
Oh, me too. I think they're fun.
But I think you're doing that right now when you said I would be Vi, because she takes a bad situation and she just rolls with it. And that would be you. I would maybe victimize myself a little more than she does,
did.
Though. She gripes. She's like,
does.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, no. You're dead.
But then I love her interactions with Tom. And I think they're probably some of my favorites. And he's very outspoken and kind of crude. And
he's this loud American.
Yes.
This loud American ghost. And you're just... He's so obnoxious.
So obnoxious.
But you fall in love with this guy.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's the best.
Yes.
And the whole time you're worried if it's gonna...
You have no idea how this is going to go.
He's
they
a ghost.
Keep throwing things at you. Yes. Oh,
they can't even touch.
Gosh, no. It's such a good book. It is a good world. It's so similar to our own.
But still has some fun.
Yes.
Because I want let's spice it up here on Earth.
Right? Just imagine you're walking down the street, but you're actually rubbing shoulders with a vampire.
Oh, I would love it. Every second of it.
But not a scary one. Just
a
girl, a realtor living her life.
Yeah.
Or you rub up against a demon or whatever, and they're not necessarily out to get you.
No, they're just living.
They just live here too.
They just live here too. And I love that.
I do too.
I'd love to meet one.
This is such a great book choice. This is such a great world choice.
I felt so excited about it because I was struggling a bit because you want to latch on to something like ACOTAR or Throne of Glass, something of the sort. But
and this is not like them.
No.
It's not a huge world building.
Because it's our world.
Yes. They've just added layers to our world, which is so interesting and I wish was real.
Me too. I enjoyed it so much. Maybe it is. Maybe.
Ooh. See, and I think that's what makes this so great.
Yeah.
Is that question of, could there be a layer
the
or
way
another
she
realm?
writes it,
or
I believe it.
I do too.
I'm like, this is a nonfiction book.
Maybe that makes us crazy, but I'm willing to live in that crazy world.
But sometimes you have to have some imagination and hope for what there could be. I know it's not true, but in my brain, I'm like, but if it was.
But just that, but could it be?
Yeah.
It's not real, but could it? Just that, could it? Makes sometimes
a
difference.
When I'm in the forest, I'm like, are there fairies out here?
But seriously,
Caitlin and I are always like, I mean, snatch us up while we're camping.
Snatch us.
I'm like, I would love to be taken.
Funny.
I'm like, wait, can I bring a couple friends?
Wait, before you take me, Caitlin, come here. That's so great. What a great world. I love that.
I still have no idea what Ulysses is, and I have no guesses, but I know I've never read it.
She's never read it. And at first we're like, should we get a book that we've both read? But now I can recommend it to you, and I really do recommend this series.
Okay.
It is long.
I feel like I have a guess.
You do? What's your guess?
Is it by J.D. Robb?
No.
No?
No.
Because you said long, and I was like...
No, that's long. J.D. Robb, though, she wrote the Eve Dallas In Death series. I do recommend it. I loved it. But every book, it's like 65 books long or more now.
And which one are you on?
37.
Just on 37. That's it.
I'm still in the beginning of the series.
The first half, if you will.
I said that the first half. I said that the other day. I was at my job in Heber. And I was talking to a patient, and for some reason, we didn't have this conversation while she was actually in the chair, but when she was walking out. And I'm just, come on, could we have done this? We could have had such a good conversation.
We could have chatted about this for 1 hour.
She was so grumpy. We could have connected on something. So she said, oh, I'm going to go home and read my J.D. Robb book. J.D. Robb has one series. So I said, oh, I know that series. I said, I'm not very far into the series. I'm only on book 19. And then my dentist, who's in an operatory room, starts laughing.
Because it is funny.
He's laughing, and I don't realize he's laughing at me or at all because I'm having a conversation, and then she leaves. And then he says, Elise, come here. And he's dying laughing. He said, you said something really funny.
You're like, did I?
What? He said, you said... I'm not very far into this series. I'm only on book 19. He said, you know the average American reads half a book a year?
That's so crazy to me.
And you've only read 19.
That's it.
I said,
she's
of one series.
Trust me.
But then I look it up and I was actually on 25.
Oh, you were
so
even better.
I was wrong. But anyways, that is a good world. That is in the future.
Okay, so that was my guess.
It's the future of our world set in New York City, and it is so good. There's AI, there's hover cars. Oh, that one's a good one. But no, I didn't choose that one.
Okay, what did you choose?
Okay.
I'm dying to know.
I chose the Kate Daniels series by Ilona Andrews.
Okay, I kind of know
I've recommended it to you before.
Yeah.
And she didn't read it.
Girl, she has brought me a ton of books, and I have read a lot of them, but you recommend a lot.
I've bought her 5 books, and she's read 3 out of the 5.
But I'm still working on them.
Okay, but she sends me home with books, and I've read every single one. I'm 1 down.
You have 1 left?
Yes.
Okay.
The Paris Apartment.
Ah. Okay, go.
She's got me into my...
her thriller era.
Taylor. Anyways, Kate Daniels by Ilona Andrews. First off, Ilona Andrews is a writing team, husband and wife writing team.
That's the author.
Yes.
Okay, fun.
It's so cool.
Zach, what the heck?
Zach, get in on this.
David?
David is a phenomenal writer. I would be bringing him down.
Oh, darn it.
David's always making good jokes about writing like a smutty book. He's like, I have an idea. I'm like, get out of here.
You're like, no, you don't.
Get out of here. That's just David, though.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say if you get to know David, you'd understand. But then people know him and they're like, I would never think he would say that. I'm like, I guess it's just to me.
They're like, well, he wouldn't say it to you.
Yeah, I would hope not. Oh, my goodness. Anyways, I chose it for kind of the same reason you did.
Okay.
It has a variation of every supernatural being.
Really?
Yes. Except everybody knows, everyone in the world knows, it is a it's in the future too, technically, but it's like almost a post-apocalyptic.
Okay.
I said that right?
Yeah.
It's set in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay.
And what happens is, what I love about this world is, oh my goodness. Okay, so there's magic, but also technology, but they can't run at the same time. So magic hits and technology doesn't work. Your phone doesn't work. Your cars don't work. Computers don't work. Technology hits and all the magic things don't work. So people are riding around horses because they always work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you
People
don't know
have a
when it's
car.
going to switch.
You don't know when it's going to switch. It just hits. It's like, oh, tech hits. Oh, magic hit. And so it's switching back and forth
Gosh.
of what she can use. And so you have to be creative and resourceful.
Is she a witch?
No.
Okay. What is
She
she?
is awesome. Okay. What I love about Kate Daniels, and I would love to say that if I had to be a character, I would be Kate, but I wouldn't be Kate.
Yeah.
I would be Kate's adopted daughter, Julie. Because I want to be Kate so bad.
You'd be close enough.
I think I could be resourceful. What I love about Kate is she's so smart.
Yeah.
She's strong. She's smart. She is such an example of caring, but being hard. Like being strong, but also having weaknesses. She is so amazing. I do love her. The way Ilona Andrews writes her, she's so vulnerable, but she's smart and strong. And she is resourceful and she problem solves all the time. Okay, there are shapeshifters, there are vampires, but not like you've ever heard or seen a vampire before. A vampire is scary. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a legit dead person. They're like decrepit bodies and they like, I just picture them so scary.
Mm-hmm.
But if you run into a vampire uncontrolled, so necromancers control vampires. They can get in their minds and they control them. So necromancers are sitting in their cush offices sending their vampires out.
Oh no.
Yeah, and the vampire, it's a virus. And like older people or people who are dying, they give their body to science, to the necromancers, and they basically make them into vampires and then they ride them.
Those aren't the vampires that I like.
No. Vampires are not cool in this. Like they are, but they're not. So the necromancers ride their brains, and if it's an unridden vampire, run. They will kill you. Like they're scary. So there's vampires, there's shapeshifters. The shapeshifters are awesome. They're so awesome. There's godlike beings. Oh my goodness.
So it's kind of similar to Masters of Death, but different.
Yes.
I mean,
but
obviously.
Everyone in this world has to be resourceful because you don't know when tech is going to hit. You don't know when magic's going to hit. And in Atlanta, there are places, it's called Unicorn Lane.
Mm-hmm.
You do not know what's going on in there. Magic has made it go crazy. Then tech I just love this world because it affects everyone. Even the common citizen has to be careful about what they do. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So everyone has to think about it. Oh, there's so much more. Wizards, giants, trolls. They're everywhere. They can ride a ley line. There's so much.
So tell us
But there's 9 books.
Okay,
in
that was
this
my question. I was
series.
going to say we're dying to know. You said it's long.
It's 9 books in this series, all worth it. There are some novellas that break off and tell other people's stories. You don't have to read
I'm
them.
not a novella girly.
I'm not really either. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 9 books. It's either 7 or 9.
That's a lot, though.
It's a lot, but it's so worth it.
Okay, she's convincing me with this.
The relationships evolve, everything. But yes,
Is there
I would be
romance?
Julie. There's romance.
Thank God.
There is a romance line.
Okay. I can hardly read anything
wouldn't
without a
say-
romance line.
I wouldn't say it's all physical or anything at all.
Okay.
It's a lot of story, but there is a romance, and the romance, it grows too.
Okay.
It's a grower.
I love that.
It's good.
Ah.
And it's funny. Alona Andrew, just like Olivia Blake, where
Mhm.
there's humor,
Yes.
these books crack me up too. There's a line where she's meeting basically the king of the shapeshifters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to tell you what she is. She is something. She knows. She's keeping it secret. She
Mhm.
is strong and powerful, and she's amazing. But she's meeting the king of the shapeshifters, and she has a feeling he's already there. And then she sees, and then she can kind of tell what he shapes into. And she goes, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty." And then this like prehistoric lion man walks
oh my
out.
God.
And he's like, he shifts back. He's like, "Here, kitty, kitty." Like, what?
Just pissed.
I was
That's
dying.
awesome.
It makes me laugh. It makes me cry. It was a great book, but I would love to live in the world because I feel like everyone would be affected.
That's
And-
cool.
I feel like all of us need to sometimes get tossed up sometimes. How are we going to do this?
Yeah.
So
I love that.
it was good. I do recommend it.
Okay. Maybe we'll pick it up.
Maybe we should read the first one together.
I
and
would
we'll
do
talk
that.
about it.
Okay.
Okay. So those are the worlds we chose to live in and the characters we would be. Now, question.
Mm-hmm.
If you could bring someone you know in real life to the world of Masters of Death,
Mm-hmm.
who would you bring? Why? And they can either be your sidekick or a character.
Okay.
Why would you bring them?
Um.
I caught her off guard with this question.
Yeah, she did, and I
Give her
was
a
kind
second.
of trying to prepare for it, but honestly, I would probably bring Zach.
Of course.
I mean, I wish I had a cooler answer, but I just love him.
But
I think I would want to bring him, and I want to say that he would be Tom, but because of course then
yes,
we love each other.
Yeah, we love each
But I also think that some of Tom's temperament is similar to Zach's, like
really
not in an obnoxious way.
not his loud abrasiveness.
No, because
that's
he's
not Zach.
Zach's not like that, but he does have a funny streak,
Yeah.
and it's like unintentionally funny,
Okay, I can see that.
or sometimes unintentionally funny, annoying. And so I think they would fit really well,
Yeah.
but he's not going to be dead. And
No.
I mean, we're going to be together forever. So,
Right.
Okay. So who would you bring then?
Okay. So I've been thinking about this. And I'm sorry, David. I do love you. I do
Ooh.
love David. But in this world, to tell you the truth, I would have to choose between two people that I think would really help me survive here.
Okay.
Plus, I kind of want to be like Kate Daniels and have my own sidekick, but also work together.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to bring my little sister Meg.
Okay.
I just might. First off,
Go,
I think
Meg.
she would love it there.
Okay.
She would love it there. I do think we would survive. The other person I was considering was my brother Nick, because
Okay.
I do think he would make me survive. He
Okay.
would be that person who would say, "Stop being dumb." Or,
There you go.
"It's tech, take this. It's this, take this." He would prepare
Quick
me.
thinker.
Yes.
I like that.
He's ready to go. So it would be Nick or Meg, because I do think Meg would make it more fun. We would have a lot of comedic banter. We would
Okay.
live life. We would be roommates. She would probably hate
Be
me.
roommates. Meg's like, I don't think I want to go.
She's like, I'm out. Don't worry, I have a backup. Nick. Nick's like, challenge accepted.
I love that.
I would have to take Nick or Meg for sure.
Now I'm going to get so much hate from Cam. She's going to be like, you wouldn't bring me?
Well, I'm going to get hate from David. He'll say, that's sad.
That's sad.
How dare you? So that's who I would bring.
Okay.
I think they would love it there. Now they both have to read the books, which Nick, I got him to read Red Rising, and we're buddies with
I
books
love
now.
that.
He's in the middle of another series I recommended him, and I just finished a book he recommended me 2
it
years
has to
ago.
go both ways. You have
Yes.
to read the recommendations too.
We'll talk about that later, but yeah, that's who I would choose.
Okay, I love that. I
Okay.
think that's a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And now I want to live there with Meg.
Okay, let's do
Meg,
it.
let's go.
We got to go to our books now.
Excuse us as we go to our other worlds.
I know, right? Bye.
Next book I buy you is going to be Love Bites, though. Not Love, Magic Bites by Lona Andrews.
That's Kate Andrews. Or
Kate Daniels.
Daniels. Gosh, there's so many first
Yes.
There's so many names.
So good.
Okay. I would love that. But I am nervous because there's so much hype. I feel like I'm going to have a good reaction.
The only hype is from me. You've never heard
There's
of it before?
so much hype from Elise.
Okay, but I do have to say, you haven't read Harry Potter.
I've read the first 3
Okay.
and then I've seen them all.
Okay.
Obviously, yeah.
Obviously. Because I think that a lot of people probably thought we were going to choose Harry Potter. I think that's another world where people would love to be.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and obviously I'd love to be at Hogwarts. I'd love to be a wizard,
Yeah.
a witch. I'd love to learn all that stuff. Friends with Hermione, sure.
Yeah.
But in reality, I would be a muggle.
Same. I would just be a normal girl.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know that this magical world was around.
Mm-mm. I'm walking through the train station absolutely clueless.
Yes. But I will say sometimes all of a sudden someone disappears.
Like, where did they go?
That would be me, except I'm so
But I don't
nosy.
think I'm observant enough.
I am. Be like, what? Who?
What just happened?
I will say sometimes
I'm scared.
I meet someone and the thought does come to me, they'd be a Death Eater. That's them.
You're like,
Which is so sad, but that's my way of saying we wouldn't be friends.
Yeah, that's okay.
We just have very different views. You and I don't know.
it's not going to work out.
Yes. But so we didn't pick Harry Potter either. But that's because I
But we
truly
could
believe
have.
we could have. I do think it's a beautiful world. I would
Yeah, I
love to
agree.
live. I would love to be at Hogwarts. I would love to be around that magical environment. But I didn't choose it because, truthfully, I do think I'd be a Muggle, and I chose the world I did because
You
even
could-
if you
yeah.
are a Muggle, you're still affected by everything.
That's
You're aware
true.
of what's happening around you. You are also being affected by the tech and magic waves.
I
That's
like
right.
that.
And I thought it was new. Recommendations for everyone.
Yeah. We have to be fun and fresh. you know? Okay. So, do you want to do our segment?
Yes.
Okay. So, Elise came up with an idea because she wants to compete with me.
Yes. I am a competitor.
And she already thinks that she's going to get more points.
every time I talk about this with Alex, I'm like, we could put up the scoreboard where it will be Alex 2, Elise 10.
And I'm like,
Or Alex 5, Elise 15.
Yeah, it's kind of rude to say to your
To
friend.
be honest, I'm going to lose.
No,
Because I'm a detailed reader, but I don't remember. After having 3 kids, my memory is shot. So
Okay.
if you want specific names, I'm not going to be able to. We are jumping ahead.
so we're
This
doing 20
segment-
questions.
20 questions.
So I have a world in mind.
We're going to do it every episode, and it's going to be a revolving score between us. Who
Yeah.
wins? By the end of the season, there will be a winner.
And we'll know, or it'll be related to the episode in some way. So today, it's a world from a fantasy book that she has to guess. She did read it.
So we already decided, I didn't have to ask this question. It's already decided that I have to know what book or world
it wouldn't be
is.
fair because there's so many.
Yes. So how it goes is she's going to choose an object or topic from the fantasy world
Mm-hmm.
or have it be the fantasy world. I have to guess.
Mm-hmm.
If I guess it in 20 questions, I get the point. If I don't, Alex gets a point.
Yeah.
If I wait to ask all 20 questions, I get 3 guesses.
Okay.
If I decide I'm going to answer before the 20 questions, I only get 1, and then I'm done.
Okay. And what did we decide? If she guesses the book, she gets 1 point. But if she guesses the name of the world, if she can remember that, she gets 2.
That's a bonus.
Yes.
That will be a bonus.
Okay. So do I give you a hint first?
No hints.
No hints. Okay.
I just start casting. I have to ask questions that are yes or no answers.
Okay.
Okay. Is this book on your bookshelf?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm nervous now because she just scoured it for like a couple minutes.
Narrowed it down to like 200 books.
Hey, there's a lot of thrillers on there. We said fantasy.
100.
Yeah.
So I know it's fantasy. I know it's on your bookshelf. Have I read it in the last year?
No.
Okay. Is it one I recommended to you?
No.
Okay.
I was about to be like, but.
Don't. Yeah. Do we know how many questions that was?
3.
Okay. Do you... Have you talked about it? Did we have a conversation about it?
Today?
No. In the past?
In general, yes.
Is it romance?
No.
No fantasy romance. I have a is it in the book? Is this the final question? Would this be my final if I ask the book? Would it be?
It would give it away for sure.
I know, but it would.
Think of a different question about it.
Okay.
I think.
Is it dual point of view?
Yes. It's told from the third person.
Okay.
And each chapter is like third person somebody else.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair to not say yes or no because
is the main male character a prince or cousin to a prince?
Cousin to a prince.
Is the word okay?
Maybe, yeah. Like
you can say maybe in 20 questions. If you do it on the thing, they say maybe.
Okay, maybe.
Okay, you just can't remember. Is the word magic in the title of the book?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, I'm guessing the book.
Okay.
Is it Darker Shades of Magic?
Yes. I knew. I was like, she's looking at it too.
By V.E. Schwab.
Yes.
Because
I was thinking of, do you know what the world is?
I cannot remember the name of the city or the place.
It's a very popular city.
Is it?
Yes, like in the world. It's not in the U.S., but it's a popular city in the world.
Okay, why do I want to say Venice?
No.
Dang it.
This isn't part of the 20 questions, but I do want to see if you can guess.
Well, let me use some more questions to see. Is it in the continent, in the Europe continent?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it close to Venice?
You're
like, I don't know. Geography. Hard.
I mean, relatively, but I wouldn't say it's a neighbor.
Okay. London.
Yeah. Red London, gray London,
Oh,
white London. There's 3 London.
Oh my gosh. Which one do they live in?
Well, all of them could
I know, but the one that they met in.
I think gray.
Okay. I think it is gray. I got it.
Yeah.
A Darker Shades of Magic, V.E. Schwab, Gray London.
That's like
London.
my first fantasy that I read that was not romance that I loved. And it's friendship.
I do remember her saying, I'm going to read this. And I said, I've already read it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is friendship. There is a tension there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's never full-blown romance.
No. And now she has a new one.
With the main girl, right?
Yeah, with the main girl.
Oh.
And I haven't gotten there yet, but I need to. It's sitting
V.E.
over
Schwab has some good ones. Another
Because
recommendation.
Addie LaRue.
Invisible
Actually,
Life of Addie LaRue.
I haven't read a V.E. Schwab that I did not like.
Same.
Addie LaRue changed my brain.
It
I'm so impressed that you guessed that so fast. You're going to have to go back and see how many questions, but I think it was under 10.
Oh my gosh. Yes!
So she gets 2 points.
No, I'll take one.
Because you guessed the book first?
Well, just because, yeah, I'll just take one.
Okay, so 1 point for Elise.
1 point, yes.
She wasn't wrong, I guess.
Well, we'll see next episode how Alex does.
Hopefully good.
You will. Okay, so now that we talked about worlds that we wanted to live in, what about a book fantasy world that you would not want to? And it doesn't have to be necessarily specific. You can give a general.
Okay, but it doesn't mean I don't love this series.
Right, or the book.
Or the book, yes. I want to say Throne of Glass. And let me tell you why. Because I feel that I would probably be super poor and basic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a assassin.
No.
Obviously. I'm not a princess.
A fairy.
A fairy. No, like maybe
Fae,
maybe a demi-fae. Like I could see myself maybe being that, but they're even not treated very well.
Right.
So loved that book. Love the world. Honestly. It's fun to read and it's so
the whole
beautiful.
Series
I
is
loved
amazing.
it.
Yes.
But I just think that if I lived there, like I don't know that it would be very good for me.
Yeah. Well, Alex and I were talking when we were discussing what worlds we were going to pick, and we both read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful story, amazing settings.
Yes.
But I would hate to live in a war-riddled world.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if I'm going to be a little human peon who's just in a war zones.
That's how I almost feel about Fourth Wing too.
Yes.
Because I would be like Violet, like all brittle, but I just wouldn't be as badass.
Right. I wouldn't be a dragon rider.
I would have fell off the parapet.
I wouldn't have survived to being chosen by a dragon. No. And also, if you're just a human living in the world, it is just a wartime. You're living in wartime.
I don't want to live in war.
No.
I don't like it.
So as beautiful and wonderful as these worlds are, I wouldn't want to live there. It's just war.
Yeah.
Also, River Enchanted, also by Rebecca Ross.
Yeah, which is so gorgeously written.
So gorgeously written and beautiful world. There is a human realm. It's outside of this island they live.
Yeah.
I'd be on a human realm that doesn't know anything about what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah, same. And even if you were magic in that world, it is kind of sad.
It is.
Because you can't, I mean.
They're at war with the other land too.
Mm-hmm.
So, again,
it would be tough.
I love to read about it, but I don't want to live there.
And same with Crescent City.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm still struggling with book 3, but.
Crescent City is a world that you live in that city and you're rubbing shoulders with vampires and fae and shapeshifters and all the things, which is cool.
But like a lot of torture.
Yes.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean.
Humans aren't treated very well.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I agree with you there.
Okay. And your pick is, what was it again?
I said 3 different ones.
That's like your main, like Divine Rivals and.
I'm just saying, in a world where there's war and all, as beautiful as these stories are, and I do love them, I don't want to live there.
Yeah, me either.
I loved being in the world for the moment and being with the characters, but.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, no.
I mean, gosh, we could go into this for hours.
Yes.
And days. I could talk about books all day long.
Same.
And a lot of the time we do.
We do. That's how we started.
I know.
And we still do a lot.
A lot. Like yesterday, I think I told Elise, or maybe 2 days ago, I told Elise literally an entire book.
Oh, no.
That I was reading.
On Tuesday, she told me an entire book. And then on Wednesday, she told me another entire book.
Because if it's Kindle Unlimited, remember I told you I'm not really counting those this year because I'm not putting them on my Goodreads.
No.
But if I know Elise won't read it, sometimes even if I know she will, I'll just tell her literally the entire book.
She actually told me almost the entire book of 2 sports romance books.
Oh, yeah.
But she didn't tell me the end.
And you read them.
I read them both.
Which I love.
In a weekend. I said, okay, don't tell me because I'm going to read these. And then I went home and read them.
You pretty much told me the entire Such Sharp Teeth.
Oh,
and I'm
yes.
still going to read that.
I just read Such Sharp Teeth.
And I think I'm going to give it a go.
Interesting.
I only was brought that lured me in from the cover.
The cover is beautiful.
I love these, like some of these new covers that they're doing.
Yes.
But yeah, that's how you can get me quick is a cover.
It's the cover. And then the synopsis.
Yeah.
If they combined are just
I'll read it in a single day.
Same. Maybe not in a single day. She's such a fast reader.
But I don't have kids and I have hardly any responsibilities. So I can come home and read until Zach's like, are we going to hang out? I'm like, we are hanging out.
You're doing that. I'm reading a book.
We're sitting next to each other.
That's usually how it goes.
Okay, so that kind of wraps up our book talk this week.
Yeah, this episode. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you jump into the worlds we recommended.
I know. Read these books.
Read these books and comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know if there's a world that you
would live in.
Yeah, that we didn't talk about or wouldn't.
Yeah.
That we didn't talk about. We'd love to check it out. We really would.
I would. I'll read it for sure.
Yes. Comment. Let us know.
Otherwise, we'll see you next week we're talking about our marriages.
Yes, and how different
they came to be and they are.
Yes. But we just live here. We hope to have you live with us.
Awesome. We'll see you next week.
Bye.